Hello everyone, it's Mislav from Dual Core Studio, and today we're finally getting back to pixel art tutorials. That's right, it's been like 2 months since I've done my last pixel art tutorial video, and it's about time I get back to it basically. And the reason it took so long to make another one is because we are currently focusing more on streams and making our games, so sorry about that, but we're finally getting back to tutorials, so everything is hopefully fine. So I got a request from Doomguy007 to make a tutorial on lines and how to make lines, straight lines. So I'm gonna make a simple tutorial with some tips and tricks you can use in order to make your lines seem more natural or to be more precise in your pixel art. So basically we do have two types of lines. First ones are straight lines, obviously, and the second ones are curved lines, so something like this. And as you can see, for example, if you take straight lines and do something like this, obviously this line isn't straight, so you call these little things jaggies or jagged lines, and you need to avoid those if you want to make good pixel art. Same goes for these curved lines, they have jagged lines as well. So for example, if you look, let's see, maybe even here, you can see there are too many pixels that confront each other. For example, if you look at this straight line, you can already see that too many jaggies are here. I mean, if you look at from the outside it's fine, but from the inside it wasn't, so now it's straight. Same goes if you try to make curved lines, you need to actually erase few pixels in order to make it work nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how you can calculate specifically how to make straight lines, and then we'll get to curved lines. So you have few ratios that you can follow in order to make things work. So the most common one, if you want to make straight lines horizontally or vertically, it's pretty damn simple. So you go up, down, left or right, nothing to it, and you would call this ratio 1 to 0. Okay, and what that means is you go 1 pixel in one direction and 0 pixels in the other. And in this case, if you take 1 pixel to go, for example, horizontally, and then you go 0 pixels vertically, so 1 pixel horizontally, 0 pixels vertically, and if you continue doing that, you get straight line. If you reverse it and it's like 1 0 but or 0 1 vertically, so 1 vertically, 0 horizontally, 1 1 1 1 0 and so on. And why is this so obvious but yet important? If for example you take this ratio, which is 1 to 1, you will get perfectly diagonal lines. So you go 1 pixel, horizontally and vertically, so 1 pixel horizontally, 1 vertically, 1 horizontally, 1 vertically, and if you continue doing that, 1 1 1 1 and so on, you will get diagonal lines. Now what if you want to make straight lines but in between? All you need to do is change the ratio. So you can do, for example, 1 to 2 maybe. So if you have 1 to 2, which means let's change the color. So you take 1 pixel and you go 1 pixel horizontally and 2 pixels at the top. So basically you will get to this. So actually let me just do this like so. So you can go like so: 1 pixels, 2 pixels, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, 2, 2, 2, 2, and this might actually be a little bit too dark, so let me just repeat. So let's start with this. So you make 2 pixels, for example, vertically, and you move them just by 1 pixel horizontally. So as you can see, you move 1 pixel horizontally, 2 vertically. And if you continue doing that, you'll get straight lines in between. Same thing applies if you do it in the other way. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and so on. As you can see, making straight lines is really simple and straightforward. Okay, so what if you want to make even something more different? You can use different ratios, but these are the basics. You can use 1 to 3, you can use 1 to 1, for example. If you go 1 to 1, something like this. These are usually used as the transitions to more like you would say curved lines, but you can use those. You can use 3 to 1. So if you go like if you go 3 to 1, you can see you can get different results. So basically you just change the ratios and that's all. Now why is always the first number 1? Well, if you take for example 2 to 2 to 2, so 2 by 2, you would go 2 pixels like so, and if this is just 1 pixel, but if it's 2 pixels, you will go like this, and this isn't just, well, this isn't line, these are multiple lines, and that's why you always need to have move everything by 1 pixel, and you just change the other ratio, and that's all. So hopefully this explains straight lines. Now let's go to curved lines. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete this. Okay, so two curved lines. Now in curved lines there are also a few rules you can follow in order to make things work. So you have like, if you go with normal numbers, you have 1, you have then 2, then obviously 3 if someone doesn't know that. Yeah, basic math. After 3 you have like 4 and then 5, obviously. But why is this important? Well, let me explain. Yeah, I missed a few pixels here and there, but yeah, bit better. Anyways, with curved lines you need to follow these rules: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning, if you want to make like a circle, or yeah, let's say a small circle, you start with, for example, a box shape, rectangle basically, and now look at this. You just erase the corners, and then you continue doing so but adding 1 pixel. Basically, if you remove 2 pixels, you add 1. So if you remove 2 pixels, you add 1, and so on. Now, if this were on a bigger scale, for example, and if you remove like 3 pixels, 1, 2, 3, you would add 2 pixels. If you remove 4 pixels, you add 3 pixels. So basically for the number of pixels you remove, you just add 1 pixel less and then in between, and that's how you get these curved lines. And why is this important? Now if you look at this corner, it has its width or length, more specifically, is 1 pixel, just 1 pixel, that's all. And why is it so? So let's say you want to make bigger curved lines. You need to understand that you have always 2 points, point A and point B, or let's say you want to make it like, let's say red color should be point A and blue color will be like point B, for example. And you want to connect these two. And if you want to make just a straight line, whoops, a bit too much, it's really simple. You just go and connect it, right? But if you want to make like a curved line, this is where these rules apply. So not quite symmetrical, but fine. Anyways, so let me show you what I mean. So let's say you make a line like so. As you can see, it's full of jaggeds. So if your lines are 2 pixels wide, make them 1 pixel wide. So as you can see, this part is 1 pixel wide and we have 2 pixels over here. So you would erase one of it and you just repeat the process until you have only 1 pixel of width. And if you like look from far away, this curved line is, well, it's actually fine. I can make it more symmetrical like so. And yeah, this is perfect example. So as you can see, 1 to 3 pixels is the pixels of length of a particular how should I say, so like just a part of the line. So as you can see, this part is just 1 pixel of width and length. These are 2, these are 3, these are 4 obviously, but 1 to 2, and you need to follow these rules. So what happens if you jump from 1 pixel of length to 3 pixels of length? Let's say you have 1 pixel here and then suddenly you have 3 pixels over here. And as you can see, if you look from far away and then you go back to, for example, let's say 3, as you can see, this isn't a nice curve. It really isn't. From point A to point B, this doesn't look nice. Why? Because you didn't follow the rule 1 2 3 4 5. I mean, you can obviously go 6 7 and so on, but for smaller pixel art these are just fine. So you need to follow. 1 pixel should always be the center point or the middle point in between point A and point B. So like so. Okay, and that's basically it. So if you take something like so and you go from 1 pixel to 3 pixels, you need to correct it. So you will remove 1 pixel, so it says only 2, then you go 2 pixels and 2 pixels again, or you can go 3 pixels, doesn't matter. So this is like so, this is like it was. But if you want to make it symmetrical, and you compare these two sides, this one has like more pixels. It has 1 2 2 2 and this one has 1 2 3 1. So they're not symmetrical. It still works, as you can see, but if you want to make it the same, you can just correct one side and that works again, or you can correct the other side and that's all. Basically, if you want to make like a circle, you need to find these point A and point B. So let's say in this example, point A should be here and point B should be here, and they only have 1 pixel in between, and that's all. So if we try to make like a bigger circle which has like 3 lines like so, and you have point A, and for example let's try to make it like so, and point B should be here. Now again, in this case you can just connect it with 1 pixel. Really simple, but the important thing is to find point A and point B. If you miscorrect, and for example you say that this should be point B and this is point A, you won't get circle. Why? Because or let's say like so, let's say this is point B, you won't get circle because you would connect it in a different way. So you connect it like so, 2 2, in order to make it symmetrical. If you try to connect like 1 1 2, then you would get a circle, but you're not connecting point A point B correctly. So if we like make it like so, you did connect them, you did get these 2 points, but you didn't connect them correctly. This would be correct and the other one wouldn't. Basically you need to find where there will be symmetrical, you need a symmetrical answer from point A to point B. This one isn't, and therefore it's not correct. I mean, you can use it obviously if you want to, but in this case point B would be here, not down here. Okay, so hopefully that made some sense, and let's try to make like more practical approach. So if you make like a curved line like this, and you want to you first of all you need to find this point A and point B in order to make things work. And for example, let's say you want to connect from point A here and point B. Now obviously in this case, if you look for the edges, point B would be here and point A would be here, and point B would be, well, you can put it here or even here, it all depends, like so, and you can just connect them in various ways. Sorry, a bit bugged. Okay, fix it. So you can connect them even like so. Okay, now yeah, that's what I forgot to say. Now if you have well, you have for example, if you have number of pixels divisible by 2, you need to make it symmetrical like so. But if it isn't, so you have like 3, you need 1 pixel in between to be like the rest number. Okay, so basically you need yeah, what I was looking for is even and odd numbers. So if it's an even number, you need to make it symmetrical. If it's an odd number, then 1 pixel right in the middle should be a lonely wolf, so to speak. So in this case you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. So 13, and basically the 1 pixel in the middle is the one which is the one lone wolf, and the other ones are symmetrical, so 2 2 2 2 2 2. Okay, same applies here. So you have this lone wolf, which is this one, and then you have symmetricity on both sides. So let's say we want to find point A and point B, like let's say here, from these lines. Obviously, like I said, first of all you need to delete these Jaggies. So wherever you have 2 pixels of width, erase it, and this is what you're left with. And now from here on you can work. As you can see, you can count the pixels: 1 2 3 4 5 6. and you have 6 pixels. And as you can see, now you can connect them from the outside or from the inside. So let's say like so. Now if you connect it from the outside, since you do have like 6 pixels, of course it will depend how you wish to make them work. But if we go and apply the rule, basically the rules, 1 2 3 4 5, so going for 1 pixels higher or lower. You can also, it also helps if you try to find like a middle point. Let's say it's like here, so you can connect it with like 2 pixels, and you add 2 pixels from both sides. So if you add 1 pixel on one side, you can add 1 pixel on the other side, 1 pixel, 1 pixel, and then 1 pixel, 1 pixel, and 1 pixel. And this is where you can find like the middle ground of where you want it to go. Okay, so in this case you can make it here, and now if you look from far away, it's still pretty ugly, but you're getting somewhere. So you can add 1 pixel here, and now you have something that resembles like a curved line, because you do have this 1 pixel, then 2 pixels, and in this case you have also this 1 pixel over here. So you can also connect it like so, so basically 3 pixels, 3 3 1, and then you can just erase them to make them more adaptable basically, and this is what you would get. Okay, and this is it. Basically in this case the point is to try to convert the curved lines are basically the straight lines, but a bunch of them are smaller and they are like connected. So if you take for example like this middle point, let's say this middle point is green, you would see this this pattern 1 to 2. So you can see 2 pixels, 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 1 pixel. Same goes here, 2 1 2 2. So, and if you look at here, 1 1. So the straight lines and curved lines are really connected, and curved lines are nothing else than straight lines, but on a smaller scale when you compare it to the entire picture or the entire sprite. So of course if you want to make like curved edges, you can of course make something like this. It's, you know, you can use this. It doesn't need to be like so. It all depends how hard you want your edges to be or how soft you want your edges to be. It all depends on your style or on what you want to achieve, but basically this should be it. So if you follow these rules, you should be fine with curved lines, or more accurately converting curved lines into straight lines. Like I said, curved lines are nothing more, if you like divide them, curved lines are basically just 2 or more straight lines making up into a curved line. So if you, I don't know, wished for another example, let's say like so, you would also begin again with the same thing. So erase any double pixels, so you have only 1 pixel of width, and again this is line work. And as you can see from looking from here, if you take actually this is a great example. Now if you look at this part, so this one, you can see that even here the rule follows 1 2 3, again if you want to add maybe in 4 or more, but this is the rule. So if I decide that my point A should be here and that point B should be like here, this can work. This obviously can work. I mean, you can make it more symmetrical if you want to, but it's not necessary. It all depends on how hard you want your edge to be. So I can go and do something like this, but more specifically this one, as you can see, is more like this angle, this curve, so to speak. And if I try to make it like it was before, it's more like so. So it all depends on what you want to make. It's all up to you. If you want to make like something like this, you can also, of course, you can your point A and point B aren't fixed. You can always move them 1 pixel in either side. It actually does matter, because it will change obviously the way your sprite looks. But as you can see, this one works as well. This is example where your middle pixel is here, and then you have 1, 2, so 1, 1, 2, 2, and you have the connector here. But since our point A was higher difference, I made it basically I moved it 1 pixel up, so you can also adapt those as well. Okay, so 2, 3, it doesn't have to be, I mean, if you take it like so, it's again 1, 1, 2, or you can just like be 3, 2, 1. The point is that you don't skip numbers, so you can go like from point 2 to, let's say, like 5. It wouldn't look as nice. I mean, again, it all depends. So if you take like 2, let's say 6, doesn't matter, 2 and something like this, as you can see, it's kind of jaggy, because in this particular case, point A would be here and point B would be here, and as you can see, they're not divided correctly. You would need to correct them a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5, 5, 4, which is okay, which can go like more towards the straight line. But coming back to these curved lines, of course, this tutorial is a bit longer, sorry about that, but yeah, this lesson is really important, because line work in pixel art is something really basic, but it's also really important. So let's say, and I corrected this point A in order to show you this 1, 2, 3, 1 again, once more. So 1, 1, and suddenly we have 3. And as you can see, it's kinda jaggy. It's not jaggies, but it's not curved line or straight line. It's something like in between and doesn't look as nice. So you can make it like so and so on. In this case, point A, point B. In this case, you can take this one as point A, point B. In this case, point A, and let's say point B. But in this case, you can actually correct it a little bit. Okay, so it all depends on what you want to do. So that's all for today. Hopefully you liked this tutorial. So if you liked it, please like the video, share it with your friends, and because this information will definitely improve your pixel art. Of course, you can adapt it, you can change it, so feel free to experiment. Once again, if you liked this video, please like it, share it with friends, and of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss on future tutorials. And also, we are streaming 2 times a week about making free assets for everyone. So if you're a game developer which doesn't know how to do pixel art, or doesn't want to learn how to do pixel art, or doesn't have an artist, doesn't matter. If you want it, please, you can use those pixel art in your all games. Feel free to adapt them, feel free to use them as they are. So please join us on stream so you can say what you wish us to make, and so on. This month's theme is RPG, so I'm currently making more RPG style characters, animations, items, backgrounds, tiles, and so on. So yeah, have a good day. Until next time, I'll see you later.